We live? Yeah. So welcome. This is our first live Q&A for Nourishing the Mother. And we have to admit we're both a bit nervous because it's much easier podcasting than it is being live on video. But we will do this. So thank you for watching.
Yeah, we really appreciate our tribe.
So we've got a listener question here, which is, why do I feel guilty?
So we thought what we'd do is the whole premise behind Q&A is to be able to dive a little bit deeper into the very specific questions that you have out of whatever's come up for you out of the podcast. So this one's obviously a pretty big topic. So the idea is we're just going to kind of do like an overview, talk about the basic concepts that are involved in underlying guilt, certainly mother guilt. Hopefully break some of those down into some quality questions for you to actually take away. We're hoping these Q&As should last about 5 minutes and really give you some juicy stuff to go home with. So, guilty. Bridget, we're starting with perception.
Perception's a massive one. So you're only feeling guilty because you have a perception that you've caused either yourself or someone else or some authority pain, right? Like that you're causing some kind of big drawback to that person. But we need to start asking ourselves, okay, where's that coming from? Where is my sense of guilt coming from? Is it my, going against my own beliefs of what I think is right or wrong? Or is it injecting the beliefs of some authority? Like, is it what your mother might have done or not done? Or is it what you, perhaps if you grew up, in a church, is it?
Yeah, your community.
Yeah.
Is it a belief that's true to you? Because if it's really authentic to you, it's part of your values and you're likely not going to feel this sense of, I should be doing it. It's going to be a very easy thing if it's coming from something deeply authentic within you. So if you're having that shoulding, that guilt, it's because it's not authentic to you. It's something that's coming from somewhere in your childhood, somewhere in your adolescence or in your adulthood where you've picked up this belief and you've carried it internally and run with it, and it's motivated you in some way.
And that language thing is really important. So listening to the language you're using, if you're hearing yourself go, I should have done it this way, well, likely it's not really that you feel that, it's that you're judging yourself against some authority or some kind of ideal that you're holding up. And I mean, mother guilt is so loaded in terms of what we see the perfect mother as.
Yes. So where did the belief come from? So this is a really big one. So when you actually stop a moment and go, I'm feeling really guilty about this thing before you run with it, stop a moment and just have a look at what it is. See if you can pull it back to the very basic sentence of, when I don't play, I'm not a good mother. Okay, Where did you learn that? At what time did you learn that? Do you have an exact memory you can take it back to? Where was that you picked it up and it became part of what motivated you and drove you in your future? So looking at where it actually came from can really fill in those blanks about where, when we're talking about your perception, where that's come from, because it'll clear it up for you in terms of peeling back those layers and deciding whether it's something you want to actually hold on to and carry forwards in a belief because it still serves you, or whether you're really ready to go, I get how it's got me to here, but I don't want to carry it that way anymore and I'm ready to let it go. And
also I think spending a bit of time thinking of what are the benefits that I'm getting out of holding on to this sense of guilt, because guilt, just like fear, can be a great motivator.
Wonderful motivator.
I know for me, like the whole playing thing, I resist it, but I know how much of a benefit my child and myself get out of it, so I push through it. But the guilt is what keeps me pushing through because I have this sense that it would be great for our connection. I feel guilty if I don't do it, right? So it's not like you're trying to get rid of the guilt, but it's understanding what the guilt is, where it's coming from, so that you can kind of run it yourself a little bit more than it running you.
Yeah, we don't ever want to disown, so it is about owning more of ourselves. So that whole thing that we really hear a lot of I'm not a good enough mother. So it's taking the guilt, one, peeling back those layers and seeing where it came from, two, whose perception is that, three, who are you comparing yourself to? Remember our podcast on that perfect person. And three, seeing the other side of it. So where's the benefit in having that belief system? So does not being good enough actually motivate you to strive to be better, to strive to do things that really you would not really want to be doing? So it's getting a little bit uncomfortable in how having that belief system has actually served you and your family. Not saying you have to hold on to it. But does it actually serve you now? And likely it will. And if you're having trouble figuring that out, please jump on Messenger or Facebook us and we're more than happy to help you start to peel that away.
I've just got a question here from Juanita. So, hang on a second, it's from Jackie. So Jackie says, I'm going on a girls' trip to Byron Bay next weekend, and I remember feeling so guilty saying yes. I'm pretty sure my husband doesn't feel guilty when he goes on a trip. It's really true, actually, Jackie. So thanks for making that point, because it's often us as, you know, the wives kind of feel so challenged by kind of doing that, taking that time out for yourself, but yet our husbands are quite happy to do the weekend away.
Yeah, this is so about honouring yourself though, isn't it? The guilt we hold about leaving is a self-worth, so it's really tied into that self-worth of, am I worthy of that time out? And at the same time, when we're talking about guilt, is the perception is when I leave, everybody's worse off than when I leave and I fill my cup and I come back nourished and wholesome, and I have got all this love to give everybody that otherwise I was on the burnout of. And at the same time, leaving my family at home, what actually served them? Did they have more time together? Did they do things they otherwise wouldn't normally do? Like, how does it actually serve them being home? So it's looking at it beyond even just where you're sitting, in terms of how does it serve you and your self-worth? And how does it serve them, even if it's a super tough weekend and they've struggled and everybody's sick and your husband's texting you going, this is just rubbish. Even in that, how does that serve them? Because him striving through that challenge, how does that serve him? Your kids striving through that challenge and resilience building, how does that serve them and their relationships, possibly their gratitude for you? And you being able to step away as well and do that, how does that serve you for recognising there's support elsewhere that's not just you having to give it all the time?
And it's one of those things too, the more you do it, the more comfortable you become doing that, and the more comfortable you become kind of setting parameters and boundaries around what you need.
But don't think it's because you realise how important it is. When you go away and you really fill up yourself, you come back going, oh, I get why pleasure is a priority.
Yeah, absolutely. Now that's a great one, Jackie. Thanks for sharing that, and we hope you can go away with guilt-free.
Yes. So that's it for our Q&A tonight. We hope you got a few little juicy questions out of that. Please email us for next week. Our plan is to do this every Thursday night because we love hearing the stories and how it ripples out in your world.
Wonderful. Thanks. Bye.